Epic Universe is officially opening in just a few weeks, meaning that we are closer than ever to being able to ride everything in the park. While Universal has dropped plenty of details about these rides over the last couple of months, there's still a lot we don't know about this park's 13 attractions. In this video, I want to rank all of those rides based on the limited information we know right now. Of course, this list will probably change when the park actually opens, but for now, I wanted to see where these rides place based on my personal hype level. With all that said, let's start off this list with number 13, Constellation Carousel. Despite this being at the bottom spot, there's still a lot to look forward to with this attraction. The theming surrounding the ride is absolutely gorgeous, with golden accents and a beautiful blue exterior. The inside should be great as well, with a collection of Constellation-inspired animals and a unique turntable to spin them around. At the end of the day though, the reason why this ride ranks so low is because it is just a carousel. That's not to say that carousels are bad, just that I've done plenty of rides like them before. Even so, I think flat rides like this are incredibly important to a park's lineup. While something like this may not appeal to me, for families and younger guests, it's a welcome addition that everyone can ride. All of that is to say that while this is my least anticipated ride in the park, I'm still looking forward to what it has to offer. Number 12, Dragon Racers Rally. This attraction is in a similar spot to Constellation Carousel, seeing that it is another flat ride. In this case, however, it's a flat ride that I've never personally experienced, which makes it a little more exciting for me. The views that you'll get of the Isle of Berk should be incredible, along with nearby attractions like Stardust Racers. Not to mention, this ride will allow guests to flip over as many times as their heart desires. In all honesty, I'm a little nervous to try out that part. As fun as it may look from the ground, when you're on the ride, I feel like it would be kind of dizzying. Even so, it's an experience I'm willing to try, and one that fits perfectly at Epic Universe. Number 11, Yoshi's Adventure. Attractions that showcase the park from high up are a real guilty pleasure for me. Both the High in the Sky Seuss Trolley Train Ride and the Tomorrowland People Mover execute that concept perfectly, so I'm sure that Yoshi's Adventure will follow suit. It features a great view of Super Nintendo World from above, along with a cute gameplay mechanic where guests can match Yoshi's multicolored eggs to the corresponding button on their ride vehicle. Of course, it's not the most complicated ride system out there, but as a supporting attraction at Super Nintendo World, it seems to be a really fun time. Number 10, Fire Drill. This is an attraction that I'm kind of unsure about. Not that I don't think it will be good, just that I don't fully understand it. I've posited my theory about this attraction before on this channel, but to summarize, I'm not sure if it'll work like your traditional shooting dark ride. There's a chance that the real goal of this ride is to simply get your opponents more wet than you, which would still be fun, but not quite as re-rideable. If I'm wrong about that though, and the focus of the ride is to get the highest score, I think I could be underrating it. Like with the rest of the land, the theming here looks super cute, really mimicking a handmade training camp. I'm curious to see what the ride system is actually like and if it does that theming justice. Number 9, Curse of the Werewolf. For a family roller coaster, this ride has a lot going for it. This is Universal's only roller coaster to feature a swing launch, where the train rushes forwards, backwards, and forwards again to complete the layout. That unique sensation, paired with the spinning ride vehicle, should make this a surprisingly thrilling ride. Of course, it won't be up there with something like Velocicoaster, but for what it's going for, it should be a good time. The one thing that I'm concerned about in this case is the theming. I do like the werewolf-infested shed, but otherwise, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of theming surrounding this attraction. Even so, I am looking forward to the ride. It looks to be a nice foil to the much more intense attraction that sits next door. Number 8, The Untrainable Dragon. While I don't consider myself much of a theme park show person, this is one that I'm really looking forward to. Seeing all these dragons portrayed with both puppetry and animatronics should be a super cool experience, especially when you consider that one of these dragons will be flying right above you. My excitement level for this attraction is a bit lower considering we already know what we're gonna get, but even still, seeing it in person should be an entirely different experience. Number 7, Le Cirque Arcanu. The idea of a traveling circus show with a variety of magical creatures is so clever. Like with the Untrainable Dragon, I can't wait to see how these creatures will be portrayed through both puppetry and animatronics. Not knowing exactly what this show will entail is a huge part of the reason it ranks above the last one, although I also like that it'll feature sideshow booths in the queue as well. When you consider how much money Universal pours into their Harry Potter attractions, it's hard to imagine the show being anything less than stellar. I can't wait to see all the magic that they pull off on stage. Number 6. Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge. If I hadn't already been on a version of this ride in Hollywood, this attraction might have ranked even higher. As it stands though, this is probably one of the last attractions I'll take a ride on when I head to Epic Universe. That said, it should still be one of the best. The theming of the ride is absolutely outstanding, and I love all the little details it takes from the games. Having been on it before, my hype level for this ride comes from it being only a few miles away from me. Being able to ride one of my favorite dark rides anytime I want to is an exciting prospect, and one reason why I can't wait for this park to open. Number 5. Minecart Madness. I know there was a lot of controversy surrounding this ride when the POV of Japan's version first dropped. Some said that the track looked way too visible, and certain dark ride elements didn't look to be fully fleshed out. I'll admit that I share in some of those criticisms, although I am a bit more optimistic. When the Mario Kart POVs first dropped, this same thing happened, and in the end it became one of my favorite dark rides ever. Maybe that won't end up being the same situation here, but I'm hopeful that it'll overcome the POV's shortcomings. I mean, just looking at the theming outside of it, it's hard to imagine the ride being bad. Sure, I doubt it'll be the most thrilling ride at the park, but it was never supposed to be anyways. In the end, this is a family coaster based on one of Nintendo's most iconic franchises. It may not be perfect, but it should still be a blast. Number 4. Hiccup's Wing Gliders. Intamin and Universal is a winning combination. In case you didn't know, Intamin is the company that manufactured both Jurassic World Velocicoaster and Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. Needless to say, they've done great stuff with Universal, and that hot streak should continue with this attraction. Now, despite the comparison I just made, I don't think that this ride will be quite as good as the other two at Islands of Adventure. Like Minecart Madness, this is more of a family roller coaster, and doesn't have as many bells and whistles as a ride like Hagrid's does. That said, a slightly weaker Hagrid's is still a fantastic ride. Rushing past the rolling hills and dragon animatronics found in the Isle of Berk should be amazing, and I can't wait to try it out for myself later this year. Number 3. Stardust Racers. Now we've gotten to the 3 rides that I'm easily looking forward to the most. While the rest of the rides here look good, these 3 attractions could be in my top 10 of all time. Starting off this prestigious top 3 is one ride that is actually 2. Stardust Racers is a dueling roller coaster manufactured by Mach Rides, featuring 2 tracks that twist and weave around one another. Based on the layout alone, it's possible that this could be the best roller coaster at a Universal park. The hills seem to pack in some serious airtime, and the ride's one inversion looks absolutely insane. While the competition is tough with rides like Velocicoaster, I could genuinely see this ride topping it. Even if it doesn't, it's hard to imagine this not being one of my favorite rides at Epic Universe. As a roller coaster enthusiast, I couldn't be more excited. Number 2. Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry. The more I think about this ride, the more I believe that it could genuinely be the best dark ride in the world. While Universal always pours in a boatload of money to their Harry Potter rides, they've always had limited space to work with. Hogsmeade had to replace a section of the Lost Continent, while Diagon Alley was squished into the plot of land where Jaws used to sit. All of those rides still ended up pretty great, but this ride could be on an entirely different level. With no space constraints and a massive budget, there's no telling what Universal could be cooking up. Based on all the photos we've seen inside, the theming looks to be nearly perfect. The scale of these interiors, along with the innovative ride system, suggests that Universal is going above and beyond when making this ride. I think the only reason that myself and others are underrating it a bit is because we've seen a few Harry Potter rides before. The next ride on this list is something entirely new, which makes it inherently more exciting. That said, I would not be surprised to see Battle at the Ministry be the undeniable standout of the park when it opens. Considering all the insane Harry Potter stuff that we've seen so far, it wouldn't be that hard to believe. Number 1. Monsters Unchained: The Frankenstein Experiment. Honestly though, how could I put anything else at number 1? Having a Universal Monsters Land with a high-tech dark ride is something that Universal fans have wanted for years now. Seeing this attraction finally coming to life at the highest possible level is just incredible to see, and I couldn't be more excited to ride it for myself. The set design and special effects alone should be groundbreaking, but the part I'm looking forward to the most is seeing those animatronics in person. I mean, just look at them. If all goes to plan, this should be the first ride I do as soon as I enter this park. I can't overstate my excitement for it, which easily makes it my most anticipated attraction at Epic Universe. Let me know your most anticipated ride in the comments down below, and check out my series breaking down every land at this brand new park. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more, and I'll see you all next time.